time to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they come in just in an absolute free-fall, losers of 7 in a row.
And this is where you turn to your best players and look at them and say, can you guide us out of this? We've got to be better than what we've shown.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget, his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45. Zing, zing, zing. Zing, zing, zing. Zing, zing, zing. Zing, zing, zing.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. but sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them. They run that.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. They're just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And a look at Seattle's defense.
And safety Cam Chancellor's had injuries hold him back a little bit the past couple of seasons, but his ability to stand in the middle of the field and intimidate receivers from going in that area, as well as delivering bone-rattling tackles, makes him a valuable asset to any defense.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Mahomes. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Byron Maxwell. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, something you got to put.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he hits on the slant route to Marshall. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. They'll run with McKissick. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
Move 15.
Now the rookie first-rounder from San Diego State, it's Rashad Penny. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Play action. Now Wilson. He's going to loft one. Deep left side here. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Janikowski good with the extra point. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes... Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And, partner, let me make a quick pivot here. Season winding down. They're number 32 in offense this year. The last in the league. Where do they go?
Anywhere and everywhere. But they have to do it with a plan. And I think about Atlanta a bunch of years ago. They decided they wanted to get what they thought was going to be a franchise quarterback. And, indeed, he is, Matt Ryan. But they had to supplement it. They went free agency, got a running back. Came back and traded back into the first round in the same draft to get a left tackle to protect him. Really supplemented that pick, complemented that pick, and went to the playoffs the very next year.
Well, maybe they can use that and carbon copy it. Now Mahomes. And Conley's got it over the middle. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On second down, here's Mahomes. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
12.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Wilson will throw again. incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn, you don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And he's gonna miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
Left, 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 left. Check. Ace.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Mahomes to the former Rams, Sammy Watkins for the Kansas City first. Mahomes now on 1st down. They'll go screen here to Hunt. Gets past one man. Past the 20. A minute 52 left to play in this 2nd quarter. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A first trip to the red zone for KC. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. They'll come out in the pistol. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
He's going to get it running right. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Now it's Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's caught, Lockett. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big play there for Seattle. 51 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Dumps that off to Penny as running back. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw again is Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Justin Houston, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And Janikowski bangs it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Here's Mahomes to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
If you rank one from the bottom in statistics, that's usually not good in this league. And this team, one from the bottom in sacks, but somehow they've got 3 in this game. What's going on?
I know, they're 31 of 32. They better be careful, or they're going to be top 30 in the league. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. He's going to look deep down the field. He's got a man complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at...
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. So, flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spend too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
Here's a carry for the former Dolphin. It's Damian Williams. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing is Mahomes on third. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he'll go down at the 28. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Oh, and it's off the mark. Harrison Butker pushed it to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
On first down, Wilson firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Throws left side complete to Brandon Marshall. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. Throwing again here, Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. A handoff to Penny. Finding room to the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Rashad Penny, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And now here comes Kansas City. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch, and guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games. Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
On 3rd down, it's Hunt. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter play. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard, they trail as we start quarter number 4. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Here we go. Green 90. Green 90.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
I tell you, on 4th and 1, when you're way back on your side of the field, I thought this might just be an attempt to draw them off and get the first down that way. But they were going for it the whole time, and they wind up getting it.
They go play action here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. Going for the deep ball. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Ready! Blue 45! Blue 45!
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 12 yards and a Kansas City first. Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Mahomes. And he's got some space here. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now a 1st down carry, it's Williams. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Jaron Reed in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th and goal here as they search for a late score. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. It's a safety Ron Parker there to make the tackle.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On third down, Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs as they stop him with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will be taken at the 13. 12 yards on the return that time. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Mahomes now on first down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And now it's third down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for the Seahawks, the wins have been hard to come by, but they get one here to move to 4-11 on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Arizona Cardinals next week. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, the slide continues as they drop now to 3-12. And they'll be at home for one next week against the Oakland Raiders. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.